Anywhere in the world, everything begins when an adult butterfly or moth lays its eggs on the leaves of a suitable plant. The choice of the plant is crucial, as it will be the first food source for the future caterpillars. Oviposition is the process by which females lay their eggs. Each species has its own preferences regarding the type of plant and the exact location to deposit the eggs. The eggs can vary in shape, size, and color, depending on the species. Inside the egg, the embryo begins its development. This process can last from a few days to several weeks, depending on the species and environmental conditions, such as temperature and humidity. After approximately 10 days, the time for hatching finally arrives. The tiny caterpillar uses a special structure called a mandible to break through the eggshell and emerge into the outside world. The first food these tiny creatures consume is the eggshell itself. Once out of the egg, the caterpillar begins its most voracious stage, feeding. Its main goal is to eat, eat, and eat relentlessly in order to grow, accumulating energy for its future metamorphosis. They are so ravenous that, depending on the number of individuals, they can strip a medium-sized plant of its leaves in a matter of minutes. Each caterpillar species has specific feeding preferences. Some are generalists and can feed on a variety of plants, while others are specialists and depend on a single plant species. For example, the silkworm. This species feeds only on mulberry tree leaves. Ingesting other types of leaves can be harmful to the caterpillars. The larval stage of caterpillars lasts about 2 weeks. And in most cases, caterpillars can consume up to 27,000 times their body weight. That's incredible. They are uncontrollable living harvesters. The life cycle of these animals is closely linked to growth. It's fascinating to know that caterpillars grow at an exponential rate, increasing their body mass by more than 1,000 times. Their skin is flexible, so they shed it several times throughout their stage until they reach their maximum size. Although caterpillars are small animals, they can have up to 4,000 muscles in their bodies, an extremely high number compared to humans, who have 629 muscles. Just the head of these animals contains 248 muscles. You could say they are walking, leaf-eating mussels. One of the most curious facts about caterpillars is that they have no less than 12 eyes. These animals have 6 tiny eyes on each side of their head. Even so, they have very poor vision, as they can only differentiate between light and dark. Most of the time, they rely on different receptors in their bodies to navigate. If caterpillars are known for anything, it's their ability to produce silk. They have salivary glands that allow them to produce this material. The silk can serve various functions. It helps protect the pupa from predators and environmental factors, and also helps maintain a constant temperature and humidity level. Some caterpillars also use silk to create shelters or to wrap their food for later consumption. Now let's talk a little about the silk produced by caterpillars. Specifically, the silkworm. The most common species of silkworm is the Bombyx mori, which is domesticated by many in various countries because it isn't found in the wild. Therefore, it depends on humans, and its diet consists of mulberry leaves. Manufacturers use the pupae of silkworms to produce this material. These pupae yield only a single thread, which can be stretched from 1,000 to 3,000 feet, or about 204 to 914 meters when unraveled. It takes 2,000 to 3,000 pupae to produce 1 pound of raw silk. Manufacturers around the world produce approximately 70 million pounds of raw silk per year. Those involved in silk production raise and domesticate silkworms in artificial environments to control the harvest. But it's not all about spinning silk. In some cultures, it's common to eat the chrysalises or pupae of silkworms. In Korean cuisine, for example, the silkworm is used to make affordable and nutritious cookies with high protein levels for school children, called baeondae-gi. This silkworm is consumed in various ways: boiled, fried, or as an ingredient in sauces. Street vendors in China also often roast the pupae. The Chinese use the dried bodies of silkworms to make a medicine that is said to relieve flatulence, spasms, and help dissolve phlegm. Putting aside the culinary uses of caterpillars, let's talk more about their anatomy. These animals have a total of 6 legs, in addition to 5 pairs of prolegs. Depending on the species, they can vary in shape and even be located in different places. Honestly, these creatures have fascinated humanity for a very long time. Their shapes and colors are absolutely strange. There are caterpillars with vibrant, bright colors, and their forms are equally extravagant. Take, for example, the camouflage ability of the brimstone caterpillar, which is the larva of the Papilio heraclides butterfly. It mimics bird droppings to go completely unnoticed. There are millions of different caterpillars around the world. There are hairy caterpillars, spiked caterpillars, and even horned caterpillars that use these features to scare off predators and other insects. Regardless of their shape or color, they all live with one common purpose: to eat, eat, and eat non-stop. Feeding is crucial for them to grow and reach an optimal size so they can undergo metamorphosis. This is where humans come into play. Often, the voracity of these creatures can cause significant damage to our crops, turning them into pests. That's when humans proceed to eradicate them. Despite this, thousands of new generations of caterpillars are born each year. When the time comes, the caterpillar finds a safe place, using its silk and the environment, and begins its transformation. Now, in a matter of hours or a day, the caterpillar will begin to undergo a new change where everything will be crucial. But we'll cover this process in an upcoming video. We'd appreciate it if you give us a like and share this content. Thanks for being here. See you next time.